Hey everybody, this video is Matt Sanders going through the process of painting my Roban UH-1D Huey. What I did for the colors is I used Vallejo paints. This is the appropriate military paint colors. I took some poster board and I airbrushed the colors, the appropriate military orange and the OD green, and I took them to a automobile paint store, and I took them. They color matched the paints, and they put them in some spray cans. I got some flat clear coat, and anyhow, and I gave the fuselage to Matt, and I said, you know, work your magic on it, Matt. And so the rest of the video is Matt going through the process of painting this. He did just a tremendous job on painting this Huey. He did stencil work on a lot of the finer details. He did decals, sticker decals on here. He did a lot more than I even asked for. So yeah, well, let's get to it.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome to my little office. And for Steve's viewers, we are going abroad. I'm doing this segment for him. Now, Steve has this UH-1 Huey that he's building, and I'm gonna go through and basically pimp it out. As you can see back there, I got my own Huey that I built that kind of inspired him. And we're gonna do a cool little color scheme. We're thinking a Vietnam era, try to make it authentic, something that's still flying today. But anyways, let's get the detailing. As you can see, the printer is working away. Now I'm gonna do a quick little overview on mine just to go over some of the details I would like to add to his. These did not exist in Vietnam, so we are unsure if we're gonna actually run it or not on his. But these are some files that I made, 3D print files. This is a pitot tube, a couple air scoops, these handles. I actually redesigned this to be correct, the lights and everything. So he's gonna get that treatment. He's gonna get the fuel cap. I've made hinges now that are supposed to be on the side right here that he will be getting. The skid caps, and if you can see, there's a lot of rivets on this bird that I added that are not factory. Matter of fact, let's grab one of his doors right here. And you can kind of see the difference in detail. Let me see if I could zoom out a little bit. There we go. See the difference in detail between the two? So his is gonna be the same. He's gonna get all these rivets. And it should look pretty sweet. It's not gonna be glossy and shiny. It's gonna be a nice, you know, battle-worn Vietnam era Huey. Obviously, like, we're gonna make it clean. He can do whatever weathering he wants. I'm just gonna get the base down for him. So let's get started. Okay, first things first. I did not film any of the building of this, but this is the factory kind of missile pod mount and gun mount. And sorry, I got a dog bothering me. And this is the correct kind of gun mount that you would have, at least on the sedan Hueys. So basically what you do is you take a dowel, this is 7/16, and cut it to the right size, the glue in between, drill a hole, and put your brass rod through it, kind of bend it so it's straight up and down and whatnot. And then I designed and printed this ammo box that I'll put the files on Thingiverse, kind of to put under it. I don't know yet about the 50 cal. I may try to find like an M60 and print that just to make it, you know, that touch more authentic. Might as well. We got the printer and it costs basically nothing to operate. And yeah, that's the first thing I did. And these will just be friction fit in there. I don't have any plans of actually gluing them on. That way, if you want to go to like events or something and put this thing and transport it, it'll be a lot easier. All right, so this is Avery Dennison automotive vinyl, and I cut just a bunch of circles and rectangles and stuff out with my vinyl cutter, and now I'm sticking them on right here. And what this does is it's a very cost-effective and easy way to just give you a couple more, you know, little deals right there. See these? That's vinyl, that's vinyl. And I actually cut these out with the razor blade by hand. I didn't even use a vinyl cutter. So you could really put some detail on your helicopters that way. Same thing, I did it back here. You can see those lines. Just make access panels with it. Alright, so these lights that I made right here, what I'm doing is I'm laying sandpaper flat on it and I'm just pulling it back and forth to get it to fit super snug. You kind of see the witness marks already, got a little ways to go. And then we are drilling a hole right there and we are mounting the lights. All right, there's the lights installed. These things, man, they're way brighter than the ones that I put on my Huey, that's for sure. Those lights are way brighter than the ones on my Huey, for sure. Okay, quick little update. So, nothing's on the belly yet. I haven't done any rivets on the belly, but the sides and the top are done. I just need to let it cure. That way I can roll this thing on its side and work on the bottom. I mean, they're pretty cured, but you know, I want to make extra sure. But you can see the pencil lines. These are where I needed them to be perfectly straight, where I didn't feel comfortable freehanding. I write them in a pencil. And then where I freehand, like those guys, let's see, and I add these for the steps. Every panel has rivets on it, including the panels I added. And these were filled in, nice and smooth. I got a little bit of the paint chipped off. And the 3D printed stuff is on there. I redesigned this for you. I'm thinking I may glue a piece of music wire underneath that. Lights are on there. Some more panels up here. All the rivets on the doors and around everything. To include these doors. But yeah, it's coming along. All right, this thing is ready for paint. I'm gonna paint it with the top piece off of it so there's no light spots. Paint for the base coat, I'm doing a 2K black satin. Kind of learned this while building plastic models, that if you do a military model with a black base coat, all the panel lines and stuff kind of pop a little bit better. So we're gonna throw this thing on right now. We've got a little bit of wind outside. I think we'll be all right for a base coat. Okay, I just brought it back inside again because I forgot the paint. So that's wet, so it's gonna look different. I forgot to paint up to that line. But anyways, the rest of this is dry, like you could touch it and all that stuff, but that's the green that it is. I think it's pretty dang spot on. I painted the landing gear. Landing gear is good to go. It looks a little shiny right now. It's not gonna look shiny once we clear it. And then all of this stuff is painted. The doors are painted, tail's painted. This is with the black base coat, and then the paint itself is like down to here. Like it's almost completely empty, just enough that if I see any areas that need a touching up, I can hit it real quick. But so far, looks like nothing needs to be touched up. Everything looks like it covered pretty well. Satisfied with that. Got the belly. The skids are the same color. I'm gonna do the non-skid like you were saying. Yeah, not too bad. And you can see all the extra rivets, all them extra panel lines. Let's see. Like those right there. All down the side. It's not freaking focusing right. Whatever. You get the idea. All right, this is the progress so far. It's got the half orange just on the top. Got all the details. And I made these to replace the 50 cals, Vietnam era M60. The proper bullshit. Down here we got all of our access panels. If I get it to focus properly. There we go. Haven't painted the nose yet. Got this antenna up here. This is all like flexible stuff, so it shouldn't break, hopefully. All this stuff will change once I do the, I have a flat clear coat I'm putting over it. Same thing as this. So it'll have this finish to it. Doing the little details. This is stuff that takes time, but it makes it worth it. All right, here's the update so far. I haven't put any decals on the tail because I still need to mask things off to put the US Army and the tail number and all that stuff. But on the fuselage, I've been decaling away. So as you can see, you can see a border around them. When you clear coat this, the clear coat kind of fills that edge and makes it mostly flat. Like you'll still kind of see a, let's see, you'll still kind of see, if I can get it to focus, a little bit of silvering, but for the most part, it's all pretty, that's what it looks like after it's been clear coated. You can kind of see a border, but you have to really be looking for it. Anyways, I digress. Good enough for government work. And still need to paint the nose black. All these little guys are still kicking, still on there. I painted the red stripe and the orange on top of the tail, but not at the bottom. Got the 3D printed fuel cap. And if you don't have a 3D printer, you can buy these things. Also, all these files are online. I publish them for anybody who does have a 3D printer and wants to print them. We got some non-skid up here on the skip caps. And yeah, so basically the next thing I need to do is I'm gonna cut the template for the US Army and the tail number. We'll paint that black. We'll paint the nose black, and then it should be ready for the flat clear coat, which will be a 2K hardener clear, whatever it is, matte, flat, whatever. So same finish that is on this helicopter right here. You can see it's nice and flat. So all this shininess will be going away, which is kind of cool. I kind of like the shiny, to be honest. Like, I don't, you know, but I think it's gonna look good when it's done. All right, we're painting the stencils. As you can see, I painted green already, very lightly over them to help bleed through. So anything that bleeds is gonna be green, hopefully. And then what you do, I'll do an example right here on the side, but like that. And just keep doing little coats like that, like super thin coats until it's completely covered. And then hopefully you have nice clean numbers on the side of your helicopter. As you can see, is not fully covered yet. All right, so this thing right now, we have the US Army painted on the side. We have the decals installed. You can see there's silver, and that kind of goes away when you flat clear over it. And that's our next step right now. We're gonna do some flat clear over this thing and seal her on in. And that's honestly really the last step. Once it's sealed in, I mean, you're good to go. We're gonna install the lights in it, and right now I'm printing a set of seats, little up armor seats for it. And yeah, we'll send this thing back to Steve, and Steve can pick up this video. Let's see, I guess, putting in his mechanics and his little updates, and we'll see this thing flying hopefully soon. This is the part that stresses me out the most. Did anything get on that glass? We will see. Well, we'll continue with the demasking. Probably one of the most satisfying parts is pulling those off and seeing that your masking job is actually not bad. Look at that. A monster. Focus any day now. There we go. Oh, I forgot some masking tape. Got the flat clear on. You think you recognize that? The decals, they got a little bit of silvering. It's really showing up on camera more than you can on your eyeballs, but kind of sucks. That one looks really bad on camera. Your eyes, they all look like that. I don't know. Not bad at all. All right, so the windows are installed, and with the windows being installed, these guys are still drying, but you know, with those being installed, that pretty much wraps up this build. Now we're gonna take it outside and get some sweet B-roll for you. But before I do, I wanna go over a couple things. First of all, there's still some work that needs to be done with it, so Steve will take on that, and you guys will probably be seeing me on Steve's channel. So he's gonna put it together. He's got some other things he needs to do, like paint the blades and all that stuff. I'm excited to see what he does with it. And yeah, so I challenge anybody who has a bone stock scale fuselage, you know, like a Roban or something, do some scale details to it. I mean, you don't have to go as far as this, but even if you think about it, I mean, other than right there, my 3D printer and a vinyl cutter for this, there's no special tools that I use to do this entire helicopter. I used rattle can spray paint that is custom mixed automotive paint. You don't need a paint booth. You don't need an air compressor or any of those fancy tools. You don't have to 3D print anything. You can just, you know, use canopy glue in a bottle and an applicator. Even on your Roban helicopters, like this guy back here, I painted this, but if you use this and do rivets on a stock Roban fuselage that's gloss, this dries clear, the same color as underneath it. And you don't have to repaint your helicopter to add rivets to it. Yeah, I mean, literally just rattle cans and razor blade, and I used my printer for my computer with some decal paper for those. I used my 3D printer for stuff like this, which if you don't want to buy a 3D printer and you still want stuff like this, I mean, you could scaleprint.com or Fine Scale Model, they all have stuff like this that you can buy. And then you could technically, if you wanted to, you can cut that out by hand. I wouldn't try it, but you know, yeah. And you know, paint up a really cool color scheme. This, I'm not gonna say it doesn't take skill. It takes a little bit of skill to get the paint right, but that comes with practice. You know, get a couple cans of Rust-Oleum paint and just start painting stuff. Get used to how a spray can works. And I bet you anybody can do a paint job like this and a detail like this on your helicopter. And I highly suggest you try it, because when you see a helicopter like this or like that next to a bone stock model, you can tell the difference, and it's great knowing that you have a badass helicopter.
we go. The sun's coming out, so it's looking better on camera. With the overcast and the sun being behind the clouds, it turns into a gray helicopter.